Well, hi folks, just give you a little bit of a roundup from home and the plot lockdown. Hope everyone's well, hope everyone's doing well and getting through this lockdown period without going mad. So anyway, like I said, I'll start off at home, show you what I've been doing up here, and then I'm going to nip up to the plot because I've not been up for a couple of days, and I'll show you what's been going on up there. So I'll just turn this around and I'll show you what we've got. So I've decided this year to plant all my potatoes at home because I've just not got any water up at the plot now because my polytunnel's not got a cover on, and that's the only way I used to be able to collect my water. And with them being in pots, they need a good watering, so I've decided to bite the bullet and plant them all at home. Probably won't be as good at home because it's not as full sun here, and also they're not grown in soil, you know, so the roots won't be able to grow through the bottom of the pots like they usually do up at the plot and into the soil. But I've never done it at home, so we'll see how it gets on. But it should be a lot easier to water because I'll just go in house and fill my watering can up. So I've got a few coming through now. These are the first earlies. There's some I planted a long time ago, but they've taken a while to come through. Another one there. I've put another 4 pots of those in, and I've just done 3 pots of Blue Danube and 3 pots of Sarpo Miras in 30-litre pots, and we'll see how they get on. These are my leeks that I sowed about 5 weeks ago. Probably getting a little bit dark now, sun's going in. But they're kind of coming along slowly. I thinned them out, there's about 60 growing in there. So another month or so they should be ready to plant out up at the plot. That's some of the rocket I sowed in a pot. I'll thin that out in a bit, but that should I should be able to just keep picking that when it gets bigger, obviously. And it should be like cut and come lettuce. Got a few lettuce there growing in modules, some iceberg, multigreen and little gems. I've done 20 of each. There'll be plenty more than I need. We've got a few mates who have started growing stuff this year, so they won't go spare. And the spring onions, I've planted a few already in a big pot, which I'm going to keep at home, and these are now ready to go out actually, even at that stage, into the garden, into the soil up at the allotment. So when there's frost, it's supposed to be a frost again tonight, and then that's the last frost for a while, so I'll wait another day and then I'll stick them in. These are the banana shallots. I've got another 20 at front, so I've grown about 80 in total. Again, still struggling along slowly, but I won't plant those out for another 3 weeks, and then when they maybe got about 3 leaves on, they can go into the soil up at the plot. And then some things that haven't germinated yet, which they may or not do because some of the seeds are absolutely ancient. So my parsley, which I did say can take ages to germinate, and my speedy leaves, which I looked on the packet and it said best before 2013, so they're about 7 years out of date. So anyway, we'll see. Nothing gained, nothing ventured, nothing gained, so I can always use my pot for something else. And there's a few little spring onions that I've planted out. So I'm not growing any peppers or anything this year, chilies. I managed to get hold of some tomato seeds off the internet. They were like hen's teeth, they were that rare. I just managed to get some little hanging basket, like tumbling tomatoes, so I planted those. Those have just germinated, about 4, so I should have a few little tomatoes. But like I said, because I've got no polytunnel this year and no greenhouse, because that's on somebody else's property, I won't be able to grow any tender stuff like courgettes and cucumbers. But unless I can find some sort of hardier varieties, there are some ridge cucumbers that you can grow outside. And I will grow a courgette, and I'll just try and put it in the most sheltered place I've got up at the plot and see how that gets on. So anyway, that's what's going on at home. I'll just nip up to the plot and show you what's going on up there. Well, hi folks, up at the plot now, so it might be the first time you ever get a video from me without any traffic coming past. And just as I say that, here comes a car. Anyway, so this is where I usually grow my potatoes, in this bed, but because I'm not growing them in this year, like I said, I'm growing them in the pots at home. I've just bought some of this weed membrane and I've covered it all over for the year, so all the weeds will die underneath and it should be clean as a whistle by next year. So basically just putting it to bed for a year. This is the main bed. As you can see, my garlics all come up now, whether you can see it or not. No misfire, so I've got 3 rows, there's 60 bulbs of garlic in there. The onion set's the same, they've all come up now. I've got 100 in there, 3 rows of normal ones and 2 rows of red ones. If you're wondering what the white stuff is on my bed, it's perlite, because when I used to grow my giant onions, I used to mix perlite into the compost, and then when I tipped all the compost out onto the bed, obviously the perlite stays, and it looks a bit funny. Looks a bit white, but doesn't do any harm at all. Just as I say, that even more cars coming. Where are they going at this time of night? That's what I want to know. So, looks like a taxi, that. Right, so in here, this is where the spring onions and shallots and things are going to be going. And lettuce and beetroot and stuff, so there's plenty of room to fill up there. And I managed to get my pea frame up. I'll show you my Heath Robinson pea frame. So that's good to go. My peas have all started to sprout now in the gutter. So it's just a matter of digging a gutter out, a gutter shaped trench there, and sliding them in. And we should be good to go. Managed to get all my carrots bored and sorted out and sowed. So they're all been bored out, filled with compost and the seed sown in each hole. So there's 3 boxes. I've put some plastic on top to keep the moisture in. And I've done some in a bucket there, just to see how they get on in comparison. And I'm also trying a few parsnips in a bigger bucket with a bit of an extension on top. So they're in about a 18-inch to 2 foot of compost. So we'll see how they get on. See how they get on. Should be dead easy to pull out. It's the way I used to grow my show parsnips, really. So, but they're just for eating. So that's the carrots. So I'll just show you the state of the polytunnel and what's going on with that. So this is the polytunnel now. I've got rid of all the old plastic and rubbish, giving it a little bit of a tidy up. And if you remember how wet it was when I dug it out, it's absolutely bone solid, rock solid now. So I'm going to grow stuff in my beds anyway because it's fantastic soil. So I've given them all a dig over. I'll just show you what the soil's like, how easy it is to dig. Look at that. It's just like a bag of compost. I've gone down there about 18 inch, so I shouldn't be wasting this growing space. So I'll just be growing normal stuff in here, nothing that needs any protection. So like I said, I've got all these beds dug over, apart from the middle one, which I'm just using to store some stuff or junk, whatever you want to call it on. And this is where the carrots were, the carrot boxes, so I've got rid of all that. So when I get a polytunnel on, I just have this as a bit of a blank space for something or other. But yeah, look at that. You see how much it's dried and how clayey my soil is. And that was all absolutely wet through. It was up to there with water. And now, because it's not rained for about a month, it's just cracking. So all the stuff I've dug out is like concrete too. So anyway, that's next year's job. So again, 2 more beds there to go at. And they will have had a good flushing out this year with the rain, with them being rained on for the first time. So that should get rid of quite a few excess nutrients in the soil. So we're sort of starting off from fresh. And there you go. There's my other big trench full of stuff, ready to be fettled when I get my lid on. But yeah, that's how it looks at the moment. Still got no lid on, but I've still got the beds to go at. The old rhubarb's coming on slowly. Probably people down south got absolutely huge ones by now already. But these tend to be quite slow up here because, like I said, I'm at quite an altitude. And this variety is not the fastest or the biggest, but it's the reddest I've ever seen. If you see the colour of that, it's almost purple and it's so sweet. I think it's called pink champagne or something like that. But it's absolutely red as anything. So my gooseberries, I've seen a few bees buzzing around there. So they should be getting slowly pollinated. And they'll all just look after themselves, fruit trees and things like that. No need to come up and mess about and water them. So that's a good thing. So into my other bed. Again, nothing growing in it really. Another 2 rhubarb plants. I do like rhubarb because it's so easy to grow. So I've just given these a good old sorting out. Spent the day the other day cleaning all the weeds and stuff off the paths. All last year's junk. So I've got all this to go at again. But I'm not growing any kale or anything. So there'll be leeks, spring onions and stuff going in here. And I've grown some parsnips in there. I've dug some big holes out, filled them full of compost. so they're easier to pull out. And just put 10 in there, cover them with some little plastic cups, keep the moisture and warmth in to try and speed them up a bit, germination wise. So we'll see how they get on. So it's just still bare soil, things needed to be planted. Now the flower bed this year is a no-go. So again, what I've done, I've bought a load more of this weed membrane stuff, and I've just covered the whole lot, and it's a huge bed. It's about 35 foot long by about 8 feet wide. Just covered it all in that, so that should kill all the weeds underneath, which is a shame. It'll kill all the seeds that will have seeded from the flowers last year as well. But like I said, I won't be coming up here every day like I would do in normal circumstances, so it's a bit pointless putting the effort in if I'm not going to see my flowers. And it's a good idea anyway, because I can keep all my junk on it, like my cloches and stuff, so it's keeping those out of the way. But yeah, no flowers this year, no giant marrows, nothing like that. Just going to stick to the bare essentials and see how we get on. So that's about it, folks, I think. Just trying to cobble some kind of video together, because like I say, as you can see, there's not a lot going on. So anyway, as I said before, I just hope everyone's safe, everyone's well, and everyone steers clear of this hideous lurgy that's going about. And let's hope it starts to clear up soon, sooner than later, and we can all get back to normal. But anyway, that's about it, folks. Not a lot going on. Stay safe, and I'll see you later.